Thank you for logging on to the PawCast for the week of Monday, October 21st through Friday, the 25th. Hello, I'm Mr. Andrews, and here's what's happening in Paulville and in ELA this week. Now, I understand that some of you, thank you, by the way, are tuning in. You're in Mr. Cotterman's homeroom, but your child is in my ELA class, so I want to make sure that you're aware of what's happening there. First of all, we're continuing with our poetry unit. It's a very short unit, but it's one that's very fun and very necessary to be taught. We're working with mood and how mood contributes directly to the tone of any passage, but certainly in poetry. So this week we're going to be understanding the structure of a poem, determine the theme of a poem, and the meaning of words in a poem. We've been using a lot of the works of Charlie Daniels, one of my favorite writers, songwriters, you name it. I'm a big Charlie Daniels fan. So we've been, ask your child about the Legend of Woolly Swamp and Carolina, I Remember You, and some of those that we've been sharing this week. In addition to that, please don't forget about the reflection opportunities that are going to be happening. I think they are due on November 1st, if I'm not badly mistaken. And I'm really hoping and encouraging all of our students to participate in the creativity that Reflections offers. And our class spelling bees will be held on November 6th. If you don't have a copy of the spelling bee study words, you're welcome to email me at andrewn, ANDREWN, at gcsnc.com, and I will definitely send you a copy of that if you do not have that attachment already. In science this week for Paulville, we are continuing with our scientific method studies and discovery. We spent quite a bit of time identifying a problem, which was the better bubble blowing sugarless gum. And so we spent an entire day. Now in your real science fair project, you'll probably spend a little bit more time than just a day finding resources, information, data, all kinds of things that are going to help you to develop a hypothesis, a guess as to which one's going to be best. We made that guess earlier this week, and then we began testing on Friday. Now we're going to continue that testing, and we're going to try a little bit different twist on our testing this time. We are now going to do 30 minutes of prep chewing for our gum before we begin chewing, or actually blowing bubbles, and then we'll actually try those experiments. We're also going to do it in reverse order. So this time we'll start with the extra gum, and then we'll do the Trident gum later and see if that has any impact on whether one is better than the other or not as well. So we continue that. We're also going to be having our weather unit begin this week, finally, and we're going to be talking about how we measure weather conditions, the different tools that are used to do that. Also, we'll be talking about clouds and precipitation. At the end of our week, Thursday, we're going to we're going to hold or have, and this is for both Mr. Cotterman's class and for my science class, we'll be having our science first quarter interim. So we'll be talking about heat energy and thermal energy and physical and chemical changes. So if you want to prep on those notes in your science journal, I think it's probably a good idea. And that again is on Thursday. Again, just want to make sure that everybody's aware of Reflections. I hope that everybody's really considering doing that you're probably already getting that going. And our spelling bees will be held on November 6th. If you need a study list, just let me know.
that a capital? Oh, which one will we learn about this week?
So where in the United States am I this week? Well, I'm in the Treehouse, a happy place in Sylva, North Carolina. No, seriously, which state capital and which state am I in? Now, this particular state I haven't been to, but I asked a couple of weeks ago for students to offer some clues, and we would use that state as long as I had not used it yet. So this is a state I've not been to, and boy, do I want to go to. You might have a background similar to what you see behind me right now if you were to go to this state. That's one of my clues. But Rachel Cheek came up with these clues. Rachel, you know the state and the capital now. Let's see if your classmates know this. This state has 3 times more cows than it has people. I think that's kind of a neat fact. Glacier National Park is in this state, and it has 762 lakes and 563 streams within Glacier National Park. Wow. No state has as many different species of mammals as this particular state does. The state was nicknamed the Treasure State, and this state is home to 7 Native American reservations. Now, Rachel, you gave us some really good clues there. Let's see if your classmates are able to tell what is this state and what is its capital city. In order to be able to do this, I also need for parents to sign the bonus answer sheet. That lets me know that hopefully you listen to this podcast as well, and hopefully, and more importantly, it empowers you with the information of what's going on in our class. One last thing before we turn it loose this week, I want to make sure you're aware that next week, or at the end of this week, the 25th, that is the last day of the grading period. Our NFL football graphs are going to be due by the end of this week as well, and I will be handing those back. They should be completed through week number 7.
Where is Mr. Andrews? He's in the U.S. He's at a capital. Oh, which one will we learn about this week?
Let's all have a great week together.